Hey everyone, I figured I'd try to do something a little different since we can't get together for staff meetings. I figured this would be a good way of conveying some information. So first thing on the agenda, COVID-19. There is a COVID-19 radiology binder in the ER like tech area, break area. The binder is updated daily with any evolving information on COVID-19, any different policies or procedures that are put into place. It will always be in that binder. If you have any questions or any questions about PPE or what we should do, if the answer isn't in the binder, please reach out to leadership. There was a lot of talk about N95s and surgical masks and which one we should be using. N95s are strictly for intubated patients, non-filtered nebulizer patients, and high-flow patients. We're trying to conserve the N95s for the personnel that actually need to wear them for like intubations in their daily job. All PPE is actually locked up in the section head's office or my office. If you need anything, just please let leadership know and they'll unlock it and get it for you. So COVID-19 is a droplet precaution, which means you need a face shield, a mask, surgical mask, a gown, and then your gloves. And your gloves are to be worn over the cuffs of the gown. After we do a positive patient or a patient under investigation, all rooms must be terminally cleaned. Just call EVS, state that you need a room terminally cleaned, tell them which one it is. We're going to have to provide them with the attire to clean the room. So it's going to be gown, it's going to be a head cap or a bouffant, it's going to be booties, and then it'll be, and then usually have the gloves on their own cart. Once the room is terminally cleaned, make sure you fill out the form or the sign that usually sits outside of the door with the date and the time of the terminal clean, and then the technologist or the imaging personnel can verify the time of return back into the room. It's usually about an hour after the cleaning that we can use it again. It's really important when you're doing a person under investigation that you remove whatever is not essential to do the exam, because if it stays in the room and the person under investigation goes into the room, all of it has to be cleaned. So if we remove it before they enter, it makes the terminal clean faster, and it just makes it an easier process for everyone. The exposure logs, you guys should have seen these by now. They're in every department. The exposure logs are the way that are what we're using in order for us to track which technologists come in contact with suspected or positive patients. If you need any more copies of these, I can email them to you. It is very important that we make these logs as accurate as possible. If you have a patient that is a person under investigation, is a positive patient, if you have an ER chest x-ray that says cough, fever, or has any sort of inkling to the COVID symptoms, please write it down on the exposure logs. I would rather have people be on there and not need to be on there than patients who need to be on there and are not. And I want to keep them as accurate as possible so that we can keep everybody safe. Next is the patient precautions list. This is a new thing that's come out. Usually at the end of day shift, the patient precaution list is sent out. Here's an example of it. This should be used when you're going up to do inpatient portables, so you can confirm what PPE you're going to need. Make sure that the precaution list actually matches what sign should be on the door. It's a great way of making sure we're all informed about the patients. Due to low census, the hospital's offering trainings in EVS and safety sitting. There are more trainings coming. If you are interested in the training, please reach out to leadership and we can find out what days and times the various trainings are, so that we can get you guys in there. So I know you guys have seen this and heard me talk about You Got Caring. We have our own version of this in radiology, but the hospital is rolling out an I Got Caught Caring recognition program. And pretty much it's if anyone in frontline leadership sees an employee caring and doing a good job, and you're presented with a ticket that says, I caught you caring in real time. You take that ticket, you go over to senior leadership, and they punch a heart into a ticket that they give you. Once you fill up the ticket, you end up getting, hearts that, these little like gold hearts that match up with each quarter. And then there'll be a quarter celebration that will be hosted for those who have earned the heart. So monthly labs and radiology one-on-ones. Again, since census is low, I wanted to take this time to kind of go over things, go over procedures, go over policies that maybe we're a little weak in or that we have questions about. I was given suggestions of C-arm training and joint injection training, kind of going over the setup, even maybe doing like hysterosalpingiogram setups, just so we're kind of all on the same page. I want to make sure that we use our time wisely because it's usually, pretty crazy and busy at the hospital. So I just want to make sure that everybody uses this time wisely, do all of your modules, make sure that you're up to date on your CEUs. I'm still available to do the radiology one-on-ones if you're comfortable with meeting with me. I know this whole COVID-19 thing has kind of put a wrench into things. I've sent out a couple of different schedules and I haven't really had anybody write back. So if you're comfortable with meeting with me and doing the audit, please, or the one-on-one, please let me know so I can make time in the schedule to meet with you and kind of go over stuff. That would be great. And again, if you have any suggestions on things that you'd like to go over, please reach out to me. File audits. If everyone could please check their files found in the radiology conference room, make sure that everything's up to date. Make sure you have a copy of your CEUs in there. Make sure your CPR card is up to date, your AART. I'm going to be going through and putting in the extra stuff that I have, all of your Image Wisely, your Image Gently. If you haven't done those, please do so, because I'll be updating all of the files within the next month or so. And next is Kronos. So thank you for all those who did the Kronos training. I know that the Kronos implementation was delayed due to the COVID-19. So if you haven't done the Kronos trainings, please do so. And then just a reminder, don't forget to write the comments in Kronos when you stay late or don't take a lunch. We are being audited daily as to, where our incidental overtime is and all of our straight overtime is going. And it's really tough to keep track of everybody. So if you could please write in a comment why you clocked out late or whatever it may be, that's great, because then I can just look at the comments and show justification. And lastly, one of the last things is primetime vacation. So everyone is already put in for their primetime vacation. It should all be approved by April 15th. I know this COVID-19 has really thrown a wrench in people's plans. So if things have changed, please let us know sooner than later. so we can adjust. And lastly, I had some lockers placed in the ER break room. They're for daily usage. I really would like to not have any of the technologist belongings out on shelves or under desks or in drawers. It's just not safe. We have people in and out of our department all day long. So I would much rather everything be locked up, which is why I put the lockers there. So if you have an assigned locker in the tech break room, you're still allowed to use the lockers in the ER also, but they're not to keep your things in there like overnight. Those are for people, the lockers are for people daily. You empty it at the end of the day with your things and leave the lock on it with the key. I'm going to try to find some locks that have separate keys so you can lock up your things. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please contact leadership or myself. And I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks. Bye.